Hey folks, it's Tom, your frugal prepper. I got this Chevy Equinox. Needs a new axle put in the driver's side, a new hub put in the passenger side. I already did the hub and the axle on the driver's side a few weeks ago. The axle has decided the boot's going to tear off. Actually came loose from where it wasn't clamped on tight enough and slung grease everywhere. So we're going to replace that one for free, and we're going to replace the hub on the passenger side. The hub on the driver's side of this thing took me 2.5 hours to get that thing out. It was as seized in as I've ever seen a hub seized in. Air hammers, chisels, I mean just everything in the world to try to knock that thing loose. It took forever. So I'm hoping the passenger side just isn't that seized. Maybe it'll just take the bolts out and it'll just fall right out. You never know. But people have been saying they want to see some more car repair videos. I haven't had a lot of exciting diagnostic stuff lately. I've just been doing a lot of hardcore wrenching. So I haven't really had too many, good videos. But hey, I'll do a car repair video. We'll see where this one goes, and I'll just bring you along. See if we're getting on that frame. There we go. Okay. There's some jacker stands underneath of her. You always want to be careful when you're doing your jack stands to make sure that you're not under the handle when you go to put the jack stand in. Because if this thing does fall, that handle will get caught under the bumper of the car and come down and crush you. So always make sure you stay kind of clear of that. I see a lot of people make that mistake. I'd like it to go just a hair farther under there. Let me raise it up just a bit more. There we go. And so now we'll go completely to the other side of the handle. I'll put my other jack stand. Now we'll lower this jack down. Again, keeping my legs and everything clear of the handle. Now I'll shake it, take a look at it, make sure they're secure, they're not tilted or anything. We're all good there. And so I'll go ahead and put my jack back up snug, make sure it's tight. I'll remove that handle, set it here. Now I've got 3 points of contact with this thing. Makes things a whole lot safer that way. And now we'll just take this wheel off. And this has one lug nut that's a different size. See if it's this size. I hope it's bigger. There we go. Of course, that one wants to stick in there. So when you have one lug nut that gets stuck in your impact socket, you can try thread it back on there, pull it out, all that stuff. What I do is I leave that one lug nut stuck in there if it's the last one, and then you can, or grab another socket, take the rest off, right? And then you could just, when you put it back on, just put that one on first, wiggle it around, get it out, and you're not screwing around trying to take it out of the vise or something. Just a little time-saving tip. I'll just go ahead and throw this down here. Alright. So now, to really get the hub off of this thing, we're going to have to pull the brake caliper. We'll try to pull it all as one piece. I put new brakes and rotors on this a few weeks ago. So now it's time to do the hub. So basically what we're going to do, I think these are 15s back here, is you can take the caliper pins off and all that too, but a lot of times it's easier if you can just slide the whole thing off as an assembly. It's a time saver. Get that one loose, and then there's a bottom one down here. I gotta try to get to it without hitting the camera with my long handled ratchet. Oh jeez. Oh, there we go. Okay. We'll just go ahead and take these on out. Oh, great. There, okay. There we go. Now we'll just take this off. Hopefully, well, maybe not. Maybe not. Hang on. Let's see if we can squeeze her down a little. Let me get a screwdriver. Get that right off of there. There we go. And now, what I'm going to do is just tie this guy through here somehow. Hang this up here out of our way. I'd like to hang that up higher, but this shit is all kind of tangled up here with the strap bracket. I think that's as high as I'm going to get it. Maybe a little bit higher. Hang on. There. We'll remove the brake rotor. And now we're ready to go ahead and try to pull off our axle nut. This guy's pretty crusty. I don't know, I'm going to have to spray some lube down on that and try to get that to come out nice and even. Try to hammer the axle out of it. Then we'll go after these. There's 3 bolts that come through from the back here. And this guy looks pretty crusty in here. We'll see how she comes out. But yeah, she definitely got some play in her. Okay, so let me get the axle nut and some lube. That's not an exact fit, but I think it's good enough. I don't know where my 33 went. Spray some of that PB Blaster on there. And we're just going to have at it here. Let me zoom in there. Alright. Now this is about to fall. Alright. Ooh, she's hot. Okay. I'm gonna have to spray a little more PB Blaster on there. Alright. Now I'm gonna get the hair hammer with the pointy bit. See if we can't send this axle out of here. This bit on the air hammer always makes me a little nervous because this one has been inside my knee. That cost me $2,700 with insurance. Alright. So I just take the pointed bit and sit it right down in the middle divot of these. Seems to be the best way to do those. Alright, so that's free. Alright, so now we just got to get these bolts out in the back. I just will say, if you're going to take the I'm going to hammer this out approach, make sure you put this nut back on. And you want to make it just flush with the edge of the threads. So this is perfectly flush. And then oil on it so that you're hitting both surfaces evenly. You want to protect the threads, but you want to put the force of the hammer onto the axle, or else you'll chew up the threads. The nut will actually slip back in and cross thread if you're outside of it there. So now we're just going to take these bolts out back here, which I believe those are 13s, if I remember right. This is going to be really hard to show you, but there's just 3 bolts around here, and you just got to get back in here behind this axle and break these suckers loose. Let me put this back up some more. Okay. And we're just going to the other thing that you can do is spray a little lube on these. So as they work out, we're working into some lubricated threads. They're pretty crusty. My Carlisle ratchet has started not locking up here. I'm going to have to exchange this guy out after 3 years of continuous abuse. We're getting into rusty ones now. Woo! I probably should go the other way with it, but I'm just about there. Normally you'd take and turn this around the other direction. In fact, I might do that. I don't want to snap this thing off. Spray a little lube on it. Put it the other direction. And let that lube work in the threads a little. Now we'll take it back out. There's that bolt. So basically we're just gonna keep on doing this. Let me try to move you back here behind so maybe you can see a little bit more of what I'm doing back in here. So basically that bolt was right up here. And now we're gonna go for this bolt right down here. I don't know if you can see that bolt or not. Let's see. Right there. See that other bolt. Oh, come on, get on there. I'm not looking at it like you guys are, so. What I'm going to do is switch over to this guy on my power ratchet and see if it'll take it out. Yeah, we took it out. Okay. And so now there's one more over here on the other side I gotta get broke loose. There we go. Oh, jeez. It slipped. This one's stripped. It was already stripped. It didn't strip that much from one slip. Alright, I'm going to try a different socket first. Make sure I am running a 15 here. Make sure I didn't grab a 16 or something. Oh no, this is a 13. This is a 13 Craftsman. Oh, my socket split. That's the problem. Check that out. Right there's a big crack running down the side over. Right there. Freaking Craftsman. Well, I only was running this Craftsman. And this is not a made in USA one. This is a Chinese one. Chinese Sears. But I was running my Duralast sockets, but I split that, and then I had to get it exchanged. And the exchange one is out in my car, so let me go get it. I'll be back. New Duralast socket. I split this one, I don't know, a couple months ago, and then it's been riding around my car. I finally exchanged it the other day. Now my Craftsman split. It's really, these hub bolts are really hard on 3/8 drive stuff a lot of times, but without this small head, I'd have to like take this knuckle loose and get the axle out of the way on a lot of these to get in there to them. So it just is what it is. There it goes. Yeah, the bolt wasn't stripped, the socket broke. Let me get back down here on it. Oh, come on. Maybe the bolt is stripped a little. Yep. She is kind of hurting. I thought I felt it broke loose, but I think it was just the socket slipping. Oh, I hate it when this happens. I have to see if I can fit back in here with an impact. Maybe if I turn these wheels. So I gotta get to this bolt right down in here, and she's rounded off enough that she's not staying on there. So I'm gonna have to try to turn these wheels and maybe put a turbo socket on it. First, I'm gonna try a short socket and see if that makes any difference. Let me see what I can do. I don't know if this will even reach down in there and get on the bolt. Whoa! Figures, okay. No, we're gonna have to extract it. Alright, so what I'm gonna try first is see if we can't hammer a 12mm on here, and I just don't think that that's gonna work. It's just not that small. Okay. I'll take my extractor, get the right size on here. That's the right size. Now I'm just going to hammer that down. We're going to put our ratchet in there. Oh, nope. Was I actually turning that thing the right direction? Hang on. I don't know. I might have had it turned in the wrong direction. Yeah, okay. Alright. Yeah. Here she comes. So what I'll do now is I'll take this over to the workbench. I'll grind the tip of this, the head of this down to where a 12mm will fit on it, and then we'll reuse it because I don't have another one like this right now. So that gets all those bolts out. So now what I want to do is get this loose. So now what I want to do is just get this connector off of here, because that will come out with the hub. And now we're ready to start hammering on this hub and see if we can get her out of here. You know, what I usually do is I start by tapping on it with the hammer, just like on the hub here. If that don't work, we'll go in and try to rotate it a little bit. Once we can get it to rotate, it'll usually come out. Unless it's like the other side, it fought me all the way out. So we'll see. We'll try the small hammer first. And that didn't seem to do a thing. Alright. So now we'll go for the big hammer. Now there goes the dang brake caliper. Darn it. You need to stay on here. I might have to get a second one. Tie around that, but we'll see. Yeah, hang on. Let me see if I got a hook. Oh, got it. Oh, let's see here. She's not just falling right out. That's for sure. Guess it's time to work on her with the air hammer. Let me get a chisel bit. Make sure my knee's clear. She's starting to move just a hair. We'll get a little bit of lubricant down in here around the cracks. Let's see if we can. See, another little hair movement. Let me go straighten the wheel up and hammer on it from this side a little bit. More hammer to get back into them real quick. It's just going to be a whole lot of hammering. Straight up, plain and simple, a lot of hammering. I'm going to turn this wheel a little bit more, see if I can't get a little more angle on this head over here. But not enough to make a difference. Whew. Alright, I'm going to let her sit for a while and soak. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, she started to rotate just a hair. You're hammering on it again. She's starting to move just a bit. Woo! Let me try hammering on this side, see if I can rotate it back at all. That's the thing, it's just to get some movement in it. Lord. Alright, it's just gonna be a whole lot more hammering and crap. Just working on getting her loose. It was just hanging up on the bottom. Yes! Woohoo! Alright, so this hub face doesn't actually look too terribly bad. I can clean that up. But yeah, she's just in here with all this rough corrosion. So what I'm going to do is clean that out with this little carbide cutter wheel. Just lightly clean off that corrosion. And we'll resurface the face of this. And hope for the best. Look at my little adapter hose here. I don't have all the big fittings yet for all my tools, so I have this little adapter hose. There we go. Alright, so we got that pretty much cleaned off. What I do is I go the spots that I hit, and I go and make sure that those spots are lower. So really this one needs to be just a hair bit lower. And then the rest of it that isn't hit will be where the hub sits. This bracket, this of course came apart from the chisel, so I'm not going to be able to put that back in there. And I don't have access to another one right now, so it's a Sunday, so we're going to put this in without the bracket, and we'll nylon strap this up to the knuckle or the strut or something to keep the ABS wire up and out of the way. It sits nice and flush. We're good to go there. And so I've already taken and cleaned up my other bolt so that a 12 millimeter will fit on that. I'm going to put that one down here where it's easiest to get to. Maybe. Okay. And I believe I have a 12 millimeter out here. Yep, right here. So I'll go ahead and get that kind of started in there. turn real easy. And then we'll start our top one here. You get the 13 on there. Started, and then we'll put our bottom one in if I can find it. Oh, that's one of these. It's this one. Okay. Get that one started. And then I'll go ahead and put the rest of the way in with this guy. Wait, that was the 12. Let's put these two 13s in. Maybe. I think that was loosened. Yeah, that was definitely loosened. Alright. Alright. As tight as that one's gonna get with this. We'll do this one. I think we will. I don't know. There we go. Okay. Helps them on the boat. Oh, hang on. I got the wrong size one. Oh, that's the 12. I don't know, let me just hit it with this. Boy, she just not wanting to really tighten it down on there real well. I wish I had a new bolt put in there. Ow. Yep. Oh. I've got these DeWalt pliers that seem to be all frozen up. Junky things. There. Junky. DeWalt tools are junk. Just their hand tools. Don't buy that shit. You're better off buying Harbor Freight. Well, guess what I went and found? Another hub bolt in my thing of bolts. So I've evidently pulled one from the junkyard and kept a couple. So now I gotta get this back out. Let's see if this one will fit. If it doesn't, I gotta go to the next size smaller. Extractors. Yeah, that one will probably work. Just tap it on there. And we'll see if we can pull her out. We might have to go a size smaller, we'll see. Yeah, we have to go one size smaller. This can always be fun. Let's see. Well, give it a good whack. I may have to try the shake and break. Shake and break, baby. There we go. Oh, come on. Don't give me that. Alright, let's shake and break it again. Let me get an extension on that guy. I think she's wobbling a bit. Right up against that axle. All right. Now we're talking. No, hang on, 13 millimeter. All right. All right, now she's on there with a good bolt. Sweet. Maybe. Come on. There. Okay. I just have to get this brake pad back in here. The right way. Okay. There it goes. Okay. Alright, I'm going to do the air go trick. This is actually a pretty handy tip. Let's put this on here to hold the rotor up straight. It's the old axle nut. There we go. I'll get 15 and kind of snug this up. Hold the bottom one in. Now, this wheel hub, actually the ABS sensor went bad in a long time ago. So instead of having it kick the brakes on and do all kinds of weird funky stuff because it was erratic data from it, we just unplugged it and I nylon strapped it up here out of the way. Just so that we wouldn't continue to have issues. So now I just gotta bring this, I just gotta cut this off. However I put it on here. And then we'll bring it up here and we'll nylon strap it in somehow. I'll keep it out of the way. It's not going to rub on this or anything, I mean, because it's not turning there. All the turning happens out here. Should be fine. Should be fine. There we go. It's done. Just got to put the wheel back on and then we'll do the axle on the other side. Alright, time to get this one. This side finished up. Get an axle in it. Yeah. Doesn't like doing the same job twice. Get the big socket off the axle loose. Nice, okay. So what I'm going to do is just come down here and take that off. Then we're going to whack that with the big hammer. Then we're going to take these two strap bolts loose. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this ABS sensor too, so that don't get in the way. Take these two strap bolts loose. That'll let this out enough that I can get this axle out of here. So I just got to take these off. Then we just gotta knock these bolts out. Now, again, on these, a lot of times if you're going to really have to hammer on them, you're going to want to put a nut on them. But I just had these out a little bit ago, so I know they're not in here that strong. There's our axle. And you can see where this whole seal came loose. And it's been leaking grease out of it. Oh, I think the best way to go after that is with the, oh, that special, dang, I forget what they call it now. It's one of these things. Sometimes that can be a bit of a challenge. This was a bit of a challenge to get out the first time too. Just did not want to come. Let me get a socket, stick it on the end of that thing and pry down on it. Ooh. There it goes. Yay! Now, gotta hurry up and get the other one in there before it leaks too much transmission fluid. I should have had this one ready to go. Sometimes this can be a pain in the butt to get them to click back in. Sometimes you gotta kind of take it, get it wiggled over here straight. There it goes. Okay. This one seems to be on here pretty tight. I don't think that one's going to come loose. Make sure she's in there. She is. Okay. Alright. Set that back up. That in there. We'll get our bottom bolt in. We'll get this back out. maybe. Oh, come on. Okay. Get this one put in. Tighten them up. Bingo bango. Alright, I just gotta put this axle nut back on. I'll have to torque it, but I'll get it snugged up here. Okay. That one's going back. So I can get my refund. And this side's done. I just got to put the wheel back on and we're all finished. That went pretty quick. Alright, so I just got to put the wheels back on and I'm all done with this old girl. For today, she still needs a rack and pinion and intermediate steering shaft. But for today, she's done. And she's out of here. So I'll get these wheels thrown back on there real quick and get this moved on out. And this is the last thing I have for today, so hopefully I can go in and relax after this. But, you know, sometimes I go real smooth like that axle did. And you can charge an hour of labor for that. And sometimes you charge an hour of labor to change out a hub, and you're out here for 3 hours beating on it with a hammer. You know, it's just the nature of the business, I guess. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. It's time, your frugal prepper.